Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. I got triggered yesterday pretty badly, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to share my experience with you and kind of, show you kind of what it's like to have PTSD from childhood abuse, because it's totally different than other traumas like sexual assault or, like single time events. So basically I get triggered from, I call them relational triggers. I don't know if that's a term that people use, but that's what I call it. It's a relational trigger. I get triggered from the interaction in relationships. How I am, relating to another person or how they're relating to me or not. And basically what came up for me was these feelings, intense feelings, feeling like I'm invisible. Feeling like no one could care less who I am, what I'm doing, what I'm about. No one's happy for me. No one's interested in what I'm doing. Have you felt that way? Like you're just invisible, like no one gives a fuck? It's awful. It's an awful feeling. And I spent my entire childhood feeling that way. The whole time. The only time that anything I did was like acknowledged and praised was when whatever I was doing was benefiting someone else in my family, like my parents, okay? So, it's not like they never praised me ever, but usually it was only because that whatever I was doing was to their benefit. So anything that was just for me, something that I enjoyed, something that I was into, something that I was doing, completely went unnoticed and no one cared. I was such a talented little girl and no one ever acknowledged my talent or my gifts. No one encouraged me to develop those things. I was discouraged, actually. I wasn't supported in doing those things. And you know what happened to me? It was like I stopped trying. I stopped doing things. I stopped really having any creative outlets. When you're a child, you need that. You absolutely do. And it's a form of neglect when your parents don't show up for you. They're not there to be like, wow, you're dancing. You're such a great dancer. I actually was in ballet and tap and all of that and gymnastics, and as an adult, like, I know that I have this amazing capacity to dance and use my body, and I learned so quickly, and I just kind of resent that I didn't get that kind of encouragement when I was a kid. No one cared. Didn't matter. So I figured it didn't matter. I didn't matter. The stuff I was into didn't matter. It was stupid. And I gave up on it. Or my parents didn't help me pursue those things. My mom decided she didn't want to drive us to dance. She didn't feel like it. Even though both my parents worked at home We're very successful. We had a beautiful home and a beautiful, or I guess you would consider us middle class. We had a swimming pool in the backyard. We were well enough off. Like, my mom made her own schedule. She could have drove us. She didn't want to. And, I didn't know this then, but I know it now, that she has narcissistic personality disorder, and these people aren't interested in anyone but themselves. So once I learned that, it really made sense to me, like, that, oh, she really didn't want to see me achieve anything great. So this kind of left a scar, it left a wound that needs healing, and I'm putting up these videos. I just finished the series that I just posted on PTSD triggers. And it was a lot of work, and it was really, like a huge deal for me to be doing this. And I just felt like really vulnerable because I'm exposing myself to all kinds of people, strangers, and also people that know me. And it takes a lot of courage to get on here and, just completely uncensored, just show yourself. And share the most personal part of who you are with everybody. It takes so much courage. And I got triggered by that. I posted my videos, and I reached out to somebody that was really close to me and was like, hey, this would mean a lot if I got your support and encouragement, like the way that I do for you. And they were in the middle of something and didn't respond, and I took it as like being blown off. And I knew that that wasn't the case, but it really felt that way. And all of these intense emotions came up, like, basically just despair, heartache. I was feeling invisible. I was feeling like nobody saw me, nobody cared, nobody was interested in what I was doing. And I don't think it was just that person. I think it was like noticing that, like, maybe only a few of my friends really even give a fuck what I'm doing. But I do have friends that do give a fuck, and they do care, and they are paying attention, and they are encouraging me, and they are supporting me, and they are taking an interest in me. But it was really overshadowed by this trigger. And I just watched myself spiral into this place of emotion where, like, it just won't stop. Like, the pain just won't stop. I'm just sobbing and sobbing and really feeling like a little kid. Probably, if you saw me crying, you'd probably be like, whoa, where did that come from? Like, it is kind of like seeing a little 3-year-old have a meltdown. And there's probably some anger in there, but mostly it was like this feeling of despair. And best part about it was that I just finished my series on how to work through PTSD triggers, and I knew exactly what to do because it was fresh. I had just, reviewed this. Honestly, I don't get triggered that much anymore. Like, I've healed so much. But I've also haven't really put myself out there like this. I've done some YouTube stuff, but nothing like this. Nothing this exposing, nothing this deep and intimate. Basically, sharing my soul, the deepest aspects of who I am. Everyone. And, I kind of felt like a little embarrassed. Like, oh, everyone probably thinks I'm dumb. They probably think it's stupid. They're probably judging me. They don't care. But these are really some assumptions I'm making. I really don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I do actually know, like, there are certain people in my life who have really showed up in all those ways. Acknowledged me, reached out to me. I'm proud of you. This is so awesome. Keep going. I'm so excited for you. All those wonderful things that I needed to hear from my parents when I was a kid and never got. I never got that. When sometimes if you have narcissists for parents, like, you don't have a self. Your reality doesn't count at all. You're basically invisible. You only get to be who they want you to be. And if you're not, you're going to be severely punished. And that's what happened to me. I didn't have a self. I existed for their sake, never my own. What I wanted didn't matter to anyone. What was important to me didn't matter to anyone. What I needed didn't matter to anyone. Really didn't. I was in danger. I was hurting. I was not okay. And no one wanted to help me. They didn't care. So now it's like I post my videos and like I'm not getting the feedback I so desperately want from the people that love me. Maybe not in that moment when I wanted it. Maybe not quickly enough. It was 4th of July. Everyone was busy. And I could rationalize this, It doesn't matter. You can tell yourself over and over, all the feelings are still there. So I found myself, just completely unhinged. And it was a great opportunity to work through my triggers the way I'm teaching you guys. And I did. I took myself, I noticed I was triggered. I removed myself from the environment, which was, here, I'll give you an example. I was alone at home. And it wasn't really the environment I was in. It was like the phone. My phone. Put the phone away. I was like waiting for someone to acknowledge me. Mainly the person I was reaching out to. And they actually, they did show up when I was in the middle of my trigger, but I put my phone away because I was like, I need to help myself. And I did my breathing technique. And I let myself cry. My hands on my heart like this. And I did my damnedest to be the little girl and the parent at the same time. And really paying attention to the feelings coming up. Figure, what is this about? I'm pretty good at that now. I'm really good at knowing what I'm feeling, knowing why I'm feeling that way, where it came from, making the connection that this isn't about this person right now. This is about something way bigger that needs healing. Part of my past that I still haven't healed. I'm still struggling with. And I'm really proud of all the work I've done that I am able to do this now. I knew what this was about. And I was calming down. It took a really long time. It took way more than 2 or 3 minutes of breathing. I probably breathed for like 5 minutes. And I wasn't like, didn't just end. Like, I had to keep going. And I went in the bathroom. I started drawing a bath. I lit a candle. I put some essential oils in the water, some Epsom salt, turned the lights down. I got undressed. I got my speaker and my phone, and I turned on some music. And it wasn't just any music. It was music that spoke to my soul. It's really great if you can find music, especially with like lyrics that you might want to hear. And I sang my fucking heart out to myself in the bathtub. And while I was doing that, I was just crying and crying and crying and crying. My heart was just breaking. And the lyrics were all about being loved, being the amazing person that I am, healing, all of those wonderful things. And then, like, a song came on, and it was like one of those really empowering songs, and I started feeling my power again. It shifted. I felt it shift. I was feeling like a helpless child, just like swimming in a pool of tears. And somehow this song reminded me who I was. That I'm stronger than fear. Those were the lyrics, stronger than fear. Not all of them, just a few of them. And I started feeling better. And I knew I needed to eat. That was really hard for me to do because, you know, when you get out of a trigger like that, I don't want to say you, just me. When I get out of a trigger like that, I'm drained. It took so much energy out of me. All those emotions, all those tears, my body had to do that. It took a lot of energy. I was exhausted. I couldn't barely even feed myself. And I really didn't have any groceries. It was 4th of July. I didn't have something like I could just quickly heat up, you know? And I wanted to get food and everything was closed. I wound up going to the gas station and getting a bag of chips and a drink, lemonade. That was the best I could do. And I laid on the couch and I watched Parks and Recreation all night. Laughed a little, cried a little. And went to sleep. And when I woke up this morning, I was so freaking drained still. I felt like a fucking train hit me or something. That's how much energy triggers take out of you. It's like you ran a freaking marathon. And, you know, everything kind of like congealed. I realized how important it was for me to have relationships in my life with people who see me, who love me, who encourage me, who are curious about me, interested in me. Who are rooting for me. And I had to acknowledge, you know, I have those people. Once upon a time, I didn't have anyone like that. No one. I think my kindergarten teacher was the only person that ever saw anything good in me. But, you know, I didn't have that consistently in my life until now. From all the work I've done, you know, one of the biggest parts of the work is finding the relationships, finding the people who can show up for you the way you needed, that you didn't get in childhood. That's why a therapist is so valuable. And once you experience that, you realize, well, if they can do this, maybe other people can do this. And, you know, I went from having like almost barely any friends because I was so, you know, protective of myself and shy and just introverted and didn't want to have anything to do with people because they hurt me so much. Now, I have quite a many people in my life that really do, without asking, acknowledge me. And the beautiful part about this was that when I woke up this morning, I got a message from someone I know. I don't know her very well. She's kind of an acquaintance, but we really resonate with each other. And she reached out to me and she said some amazing things to me. And it had nothing to do with my YouTube channel. She just acknowledged me as a person. Just out of nowhere. She and someone else were talking about me, and she's like, you know, I was talking about you last night, and I just want you to know that, like, I see you. And you're the real deal. And I got your back. You have no idea what this meant to me. Like, it just appeared out of nowhere. It's what I needed. The universe brought me exactly what I needed. Tears of joy, people. And that person is gold to me now. It's like, wow, really just showed up at the right time. Thank you so much. And that's a big part of the work. It's the biggest part of the work, is to get yourself out there and meet people, all kinds of people, as many as you can. And learning as quickly as possible who's going to be a good friend and who isn't. And there's not ever going to be one person in your life, except yourself, who can show up for you the way you need. This friend might be good at this friend might be good at that. Maybe they're not good at what the other friend is good at. These are your resources. These are the people in your life who are here to help you heal. They don't even know it. Because they're just being themselves. They're just being who they are. And this woman, just by being the most beautiful person that she is, she just wanted to acknowledge me. She knew, that it would mean a lot to me to hear that. And so healing for me, because if only my parents had said those things to me. I see you, Liz, and I think you're beautiful, and I love you, and I'm proud of you, and I want to see you fly. I want to see you soar. I want to see you thrive, and I'm going to help you get there. If only we had parents who said that to us. Maybe I would have been a circus performer instead of someone who's almost full-time working through their PTSD. Building relationships. Building relationships are the most important thing to me now. And, not only did I realize that I do have a great number of people who do this for me. And there are also people in my life who I'm invisible to, and it shows. They don't ever notice what I do. They don't ever acknowledge what I do. They don't ever see what I'm doing and say anything about it. People that I've loved, supported, encouraged, uplifted, I know a lot of artists and dancers and performers, and I'm their cheerleader. I'm like, go you! That's what I do. I'm so about that. And I have a really hard time because those people don't do it for me. And I realized I was really resentful of that. And maybe what I need is to distance myself from those people a little bit and really count the number of friends I have that really do see me. Because I'm not going to stay invisible, and I'm not going to go away, and I'm not going to hide who I am. I'm not going to, shy away from this process of putting my material on YouTube. I could have let this completely make me quit. And I can see that I did that in my past, I quit things because other people didn't see. So I think that's enough for now. Thank you for listening, and I just hope that the whole point of this is that maybe if you're listening to this, maybe you go through feeling this way sometimes. Maybe you know exactly what I'm talking about, what this is like. And you know how I'm working on healing from that. Maybe you'll get something out of this. I love you guys. Please be kind to you. And I'll see you soon.